Hey, what's up, guys? Ray Antonio for Yellow Sea Podcast, baby. And my next guest, Elina Ross. This episode, we talk about how she's an innovator in the microblading business here in Montreal. Yes, she brought it to Montreal. And for our topics, we talk about men and women. We talk about beauty and self-care. And finally, body positivity. What do you think about it? Because right now, you should take care of your health mainly. And as you know already, guys, if you haven't done it, go follow us on YouTube. It's very important. We need to get those numbers up because we're going to give it back to you. TikTok, Instagram, we're there every day. You can catch me on LinkedIn too. And finally, if you're stuck in traffic, if you're at the gym, you know you can catch us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. We're everywhere, nonstop. And to present to you our main contributors, our main sponsors, you already know in this the podcast, we talk about Rosemont. We got to taste with Elina for our first time the tequila from Montreal, or Eau d'Agave, if you want it better. But Rosemont, you catch it everywhere at La Sac. I'm telling you, it's one of the best drinks locally that we have available, and you need to support local businesses. And finally, you know you want to get a better vision. I'm telling you guys, over here it's happening with iReligion. And I strongly suggest you never had an experience for your eyes, well, go get it done with iReligion, lunettes, and I'm sharing with you all the links. So let's get this show going with the innovator of microblading here in Montreal, Elina Ross. Let's go. So, do you think chivalry is dead?
I do not think chivalry is dead because I just witnessed it.
Thank you.
So it is still around. However, I think it's presenting itself in a different way because times have changed and chivalry is advancing with the times. I mean, nobody's picking up napkins from the floor anymore, but there's other gestures that I think come from men that are very nice.
But we're from
pleasant.
that also that
You went straight.
we went straight on it head first. But we're also from that generation where we still had those type of habits, manners. Because I find that we're the last generation who did like the transition from analog to digital. Once the digital was implemented, also to a mature stage of, let's say, a human from the moment they were born until now, it's like I find like their whole mentality has changed.
Yes, it has. That's why chivalry has evolved into different acts of kindness. Usually it's male, female, and chivalry applies to a man. Now, even that aspect has changed.
Well, it's funny
because that's going deep, So I like it old school.
Yeah.
I like old school chivalry. I like doors being open. I like men kind of giving a certain place to a woman, so I do enjoy that.
I understand. I find that it's funny that we just jumped to this topic, and then we'll get into the research thing. But I find that social media nowadays will tell you, no, women pay the bill on the first date.
Oh, Lord.
I mean, that's chivalry nowadays. I find that women are taking over. When Beyonce said, hey, girls take over the world.
Okay, so we'll start with the fact that last time I was single until now, I became single. My husband had passed a year and a half ago. So last time I was single, I was 24 years old, and things were very different. Now in this new attempt at dating, I don't know what the protocol is really anymore when the bill comes. So I find myself in these situations where I'm kind of like, do people do it 50-50 now? Like, how does it work, right? Because I'm kind of lost myself.
Equality.
And it's not about equality. It's
who invited the person first?
Yes, I saw that. Who said that? It was 50 Cent who said that. Whose idea it was to go on the date in the first place should be the one picking up.
And it makes sense.
It makes sense, but it depends. It's also when you're still courting a woman, it's not because she can afford it or cannot afford it. It's where you want to place yourself, how you want her to view you. It's more than the fact who has the financial means and who doesn't. Mm-hmm. Because then it's a psychological level. Like, whether you want to or not, it's still in us to search for certain criteria in men and women. Even if, it's not socially acceptable now to say, you know, I want a man who's strong, who provides. Like, you have to provide for yourself. You have to do everything for yourself, which in my case I do. But still, I want that dynamic where the man is going to tell me, don't worry, everything is okay. Like, and that gesture of paying for a drink kind of represents that.
I think should always be that way, but I find that also like the shift of the cultural and the social is changing too in these aspects. Like, once again, I said, just to make fun of it, like, and now is the women going to be paying for the bills because men are getting more softer. That's something I've been saying for the past episode. And I find there's a certain criteria why men are feeling more feminine energy, like, as opposed to women being more dominant nowadays. And, like, to that, it's just, like, who is going to be leading, like, at what aspect, where it becomes like that the man has to do something or the woman has to do something else. Because even borderline, there's emojis of men being pregnant right now. I don't think men should carry a kid. We're not biologically fit to do that, even if we wanted to.
There's so much of this man-woman on social media right now that I'm watching, and so many sides of how you describe a woman and how you describe a man, and only a woman knows what a woman is. All I can tell you that if my child is kidnapped and I want a description of a person who kidnapped my child, I need to know that it's a X person this tall with a penis or a vagina, and I need a clear description.
That's an interesting point. If a person get kidnapped, how do you describe them?
How do you describe them? This was like the first thing that I thought about, you know, because everybody's saying, like, if you dig up our bones, we're going there right now.
Yeah,
I was coming to talk about beauty, but so I was thinking that. I was like, you know, people are giving different examples of why certain things should be a certain way, and men and women. But I just thought, you know, if something happens to my child and you're going to describe the person who kidnapped my child, I would like a description that says man or woman.
Yeah. Or
man in a dress. Like, even though it doesn't apply, I would need that type of description to find the person.
And now it raises questions for those individuals that do the transition too. Like, fuck, if initially on your birth certificate you were F, and then at the end, like, you get kidnapped and we're looking for F because that's like the information. And
there's that too.
But then you're M.
Listen, this we're opening a whole Pandora's box.
That was the purpose of chivalry.
You told me I wasn't ready, right?
Are we going there?
Are we going there?
Are we going there?
So I don't know. Things will change. I'm very comfortable with the changes that are coming, because you have no choice either to adapt, to respect people's choices, to respect whatever is instilled, because it's what it is. Times change, things change. For sure, you're going to have a little bit of people who are not willing to follow the new he, she pronouns.
This type of narrative right now kind of getting out of control from my perspective.
Speaking of dating, I started dating, attempted dating.
How's that going for you?
My career is wonderful.
Application or not, an app or not.
So I was on an app for literally 20 minutes.
That's it. Like, nope, that's not my generation.
Until I saw, first of all, people that I recognized, that I was like, okay, so what's the point of this exercise? And then I was just curious how it goes, you know? So there was, on the app that I was on, there was a few questions, one of which was, what is your pronoun?
Oh, my God.
You know, so I'm like, okay, so...
Is it optional?
When somebody writes their pronoun, am I looking for their pronoun, or I'm looking for their birth, sex? Like, this is the question now.
Exactly.
Because I can't question if the person says they are a he, right? Or a she. Another question was, well, this is just random. It says, what is your biggest fear? And I wrote 5'7", brown eyes, last seen on dating app.
Oh, shit.
So all these things, again, with pronouns that are kind of catching up to us and becoming part of our life, that's a little bit different for us to follow our generation. You know, maybe the next one, which is my daughter, your daughter, it's going to be a bit more normal for them. But for us, it's a transition, and it's fine. I'm okay with it. I have no
But
problem.
do you find like, all right, so now like you're testing out, let's say these applications, you know, to go back in the dating scene, but considering you're from a generation where, you know, it was the guy who would actually open up, break the ice and go talk to you.
When I last was dating, there was no Instagram. That's how
Exactly.
long ago
It was us who had
it's
to
been
actually, hey,
since I dated.
hey, how are you doing? Can I get you a drink? What's your name? What's your occupation?
What's your sign?
Oh, shit.
It's very new for me. I don't know. Now it's so different. Everything is different. The interaction is different. It's a lot more direct. There's no messing around. People don't want to lose time. Makes sense in a way.
That's the fact that people don't want to lose time.
Yeah.
And I find like the fact that everyone is eager. Like I think I saw the statistic that on the first date people sleep already together, like on the first encounter. Like
that has been around for longer than dating apps. I'm just telling you.
It was booty calls. Booty calls was there first night, but now it's like
things were done with a little bit more respect.
Yeah, now it's like that's the
and a bit
the
more
goal.
class, and it was a bit less. You know, you want this, you want that, you want to like now. It's literally the conversation was the one conversation I had on that app. Was really you had to say like what you wanted, and me, I'm used to a natural evolution of getting to know somebody. I mean, I can want what I want, you know. I could give you a list of things I want. It doesn't mean that's what I'm going to get. Maybe I'm going to get a friendship out of that relationship. Maybe I'm going to get something else out of that relationship. It doesn't have to be necessarily a romantic one. But meeting a person automatically right now is like, okay, we're going to be friends. We're going to be this. Who knows?
It's like a standard, like, oh, shit, well, first date, we have to sleep together and to make sure that, you know, we could go for a second date.
Oh, you don't want to know the stories I hear from my guy friends with these apps. Like, it's crazy. There's also, well, that other app where ahead of time people say what they want and what they're going to do and whatever. They just eat, and just, we're going to eat, then we're going to...
We're just going to fuck and that's it. I have a date next week.
I was trying to use proper words.
Feel free to use the vocabulary that makes you more comfortable.
I'm comfortable. I just, you know, this is out there. I'm a mother.
It's all right.
I need a little more tequila than
I'll take the responsibility.
You're going to take the responsibility. Yeah, so that's it. Yeah, it's very raw. It's raw. The whole dating scene is raw.
It's a weird world. Well, this is how we opened the podcast, I guess, was it intentionally. So when we went this way, I wanted to make the podcast about the beauty and self-care. Mm-hmm. I find that this is how I see you, what you represent yourself to as a professional, as a boss lady at the same time, working in the beauty, self-care. For those who doesn't know you, Elina Ross. Yes. Should I go even to your government? Believe it like
My pronouns are she.
Exactly, she. 38 years old.
37.
37. But you're going. I'm just anticipating on the next step.
Yes. I'm going to get to 38. That's important. Yes, that's it. So I've been in the beauty industry for quite a while. Also you and I have been working together for a few years on our promotions and our social media and our ads and everything. That too has evolved and changed.
Yes, it has.
Everybody has an opinion now on what beauty is, what is okay, what is not okay. Everybody takes offense. I mean,
that's exactly why I felt it was like relevant to have this conversation with you, because we lived one of the impact of people being offended so easily out of just what is beauty. Yes. Instead of really accepting really what is your beauty. There's a quote, the beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
Yeah.
So we should all live this way, but however now it's like beauty is in the eye of the standard of the population.
Yes.
So if you don't follow this, then you're banned, you cancel. And this is something we're going through right now, like dealing with a nonsense worse of stress for nothing, just for trying to like validate, like, hey, we're not promoting pornography. If that's what...
it's almost more acceptable to promote pornography than beauty. And
you know what? Nowadays...
Like OnlyFans, it's girls' OnlyFans, okay, but before and after makeup, it's not okay.
And you see, this is where I want to dig down further down into really the what you do, because I find there's a noble service that you do to contribute, you know, to, once again, what is beauty, natural beauty. And... I was filtering through Instagram, you know, that's all we do anyway. And this page, like the girl, basically you could see her boobs, but she had a fishnet on top of it, and the video was like circulating easily. And big title was like, "What would you do with me tonight?" I'm like, this is the shit that's acceptable on these platforms. However, us trying to promote something that's noble, once again, related to something that will make a woman feel herself again. And we'll get into it, what it is. But it gets banned for because, oh, no, well, I'm getting offended because I see this. What if my kids see this in her screen? Nowadays, anyway, kids are exposed to sexuality at an even younger age than what we were. I think I was exposed to sexuality. If we look at the type of porn that was exposed to us back then, was like, you know, that channel that just flicker.
You could see like, oh my God, I think I saw a nipple.
Yo, I saw a nipple, yeah. Did you see that?
Where the nipple is coming from?
That was the porn that we got introduced to. Or like even the soft core, like where.
Well, there's that, but if I think the porn, yes, it was a bit later, but in the amount of danger we were in and putting ourselves in just physically, that we had less exposure of. But other things we had so much more exposure of. You know, like just natural things like a car can hit you. You know, playing with a ball in the middle of the street, running to not having a phone.
Yeah.
Your parents didn't have a phone. You had to call a house line. You had to know at which house they were. You know, so...
my parents pick up, hang up.
I used to walk outside, 8 years old. I would walk wherever. I would not send my daughter to the store alone. Never.
Not this
not
time
on the bus either. So a lot of other things we were more exposed to. And other things less, to go with the fact that, yes, times are changing. Children are exposed more to, example, sexuality, which we have to adapt to and teach them properly. But they're less exposed to other things that we were exposed to. They were quite dangerous as well.
That's true.
So there's a balance. There's always a balance that comes into play, you know. The thing that our toys, Jesus Christ, like just everything was dangerous. I don't even know how I survived. I made it past 13, like I swear to God.
Yeah, no, that's true. Because right now it's like, that's why I find like, I had this conversation once again, why the man is getting softer. I just find like so much like overlooking to protecting the self-esteem mainly. After that, like, yeah, the safety, physical safety is very important.
How do you think men are getting softer?
Well, all right. The big discussion behind this is that I guess men are getting softer because we're coming in an age where we're accepting the men being weak, inferior in some sort of way. We're accepting that the man can cry without feeling like your girl or, you know, your pussy, something like that, as someone would say. And I think this is being more accepted. And further down, I find that, you know, the man is being more open, in which the man is becoming so open now that it's becoming so much more vulnerable if we compare to a woman. In which the woman is like being like the one that's nowadays like can sustain a household. She's the one, the biggest money maker. She could do more. She give birth. I mean, that never changed, but now she give birth on top of being the one that brings out the money and things like that. And now you have like men that stays home. So I find like the man is getting softer in those aspects. And considering he's getting softer, I find that maybe the chivalry might die down for somewhere there, because back then our culture, us, for example, a Latino, we have this machista culture in which the man doesn't cry. The man is strong. The man is there to protect. The man will take a bullet for their family. The man is the man. And now it's like the man needs to be, and I understand, I do respect the fact that we need to be more open, because me too, like I bottle a lot of things inside of me because, you know, by pride
important.
of.
It's important because it can come out in violent ways for men and women, both. You know, not necessarily towards the woman, but in general, it bottles up aggression, it bottles up, you know. So it's important, maybe when it's done, because maybe now men can do it at any time, you know.
But that's the thing, I find that he's just doing it at any time, and like borderline, like men are just walking out with skirts. Is the fashion maybe that's allowing it to do it? Like, I mean, we look at a Kanye West who probably did it once. Like, oh, you look at, that's my idol, and he's wearing a skirt. Then shit, fuck that, I'm gonna wear a skirt too. I mean, is that acceptable? Is that does it make sense?
I think not being in a balanced place in the sense of where I'm a woman alone with a child. I like 2-parent household It wasn't by choice. I think the yin yang in general is very important.
Yeah.
For it to be light, there has to be dark. For it to be masculine energy, there has to be feminine energy. If it all blends into one energy, we have neither. So you're losing all roles, right? So you're right in a sense of where if the man becomes too feminine and takes on, if we all blend into a one energy.
Not-binary is the term.
Well, it's non-binary, yeah, I guess. But if we're all non-binary and there is no masculine nor feminine in all of society, you're losing balance, in my opinion. Maybe not. Maybe somebody's going to prove me wrong in a year, 2, 10, 15, 20 years. It's just an opinion. I don't know. This is how I grew up. So now, example for myself, I don't have a man in the house. My man was very alpha male. I was a strong man. I see my character change because I have to take on both roles. I can't cry whenever I want, like I used to before. I can't be, lose my shit because I'm on my period because I'm alone. And if my child sees me that way, it's like I don't have control of the situation. I don't have... Yes, it's okay to cry sometimes, but I can't be because there's not somebody else to pick up the other side when it's time to be strong. When you have two people, you have a team. Now I'm a one-man show. So I'm a little bit, it changed me, definitely changed me in terms of my energy, feminine and masculine. I find I have more masculine energy now, not having that balance. Like if I had a man, I would have a little bit more feminine energy because he would balance that out. That would be kind of there, So,
but did you ever feel like when he was there, him, like you mentioned, being an alpha male, like did you ever like let out your masculine energy into the relationship? Or he was just way too manly for this?
Listen, I'm an alpha female, he was an alpha male. There was a time for me to be dominant and strong, and there was a time for me to let go. Just because I'm a strong woman doesn't mean I can't let somebody else lead. I run a team, right? I have a business. I am the team leader of my business. A business is a team. At home, we are a team. We can't be two quarterback. Our team is going nowhere. We need a coach. We need a quarterback. Just as important, just as highly paid. But somebody has to take up. Example, when I had my baby, I didn't need him to stay up with me. And we both tired in the morning. Like I'll be tired in the morning. You get X amount of sleep, you can go to work. I could, even if I wanted to, I couldn't go to work. I had complications. I was breastfeeding. Like, where do you want me to go? I'm not going very far. No matter how smart I am, how strong I am, I need sleep to function. So for me, we don't need to be both up with the baby. When in other families, the woman's like, well, if I'm tired, you're going to be tired with me. I'm like, no. I'm going to be tired. You're going to do something else. And then when you come back, I get to be tired, and then you do something else. We don't need to be hand in hand doing the same thing. So, no, he wouldn't overpower me. However, I did kind of give him a certain space when it was time. And I found that empowered me because it took a lot of self-control.
All right, that's good. It's good to hear.
So I don't see it as, and it made me much stronger. And for being able to let people speak and kind of take space at home, I was better at my work. It's in general, man-woman dynamics, work dynamics, team dynamics. It's all a team. Like you want to succeed, you want to be strong, you want to be solid. It's all very similar.
Definitely, and it's funny because me too. Like I'm a newly father, and the roles have changed a lot. But it's funny how things have.
You have a girl, by the way. Oh. I think when men have girls, it's like it just brings out something different.
Yes, it does. My life has changed. Like my personality, my outtake, everything has changed. Just based on this little girl. She has so much power over me.
Yes.
Was the same thing with your daughter?
Oh, yes. She owned him. Owned him.
Yeah, me too.
And she's just something else. I don't know. Something happens. You can't even describe it. It's like the man looks more vulnerable, but that vulnerability makes him stronger because now he does so much more just because he's protecting, this little creature.
It is. Well, she goes to work early, so I'm the one who has to take care of her, like dress her, do her hair, teach her how to brush her teeth, change her diaper, entertain her too before she go to daycare. Daycare is brand new too. And, all these little things. I'm alone doing this. Like, to me, it's the first experience. It's not like she had another kid before and then she had to take in. Now, she's going to work and I'm doing all this, but on top of that, I have businesses to run.
in terms of staying masculine and braiding hair and you know.
It brings out something new out of me. I find like I'm becoming much more responsible. Little details too that things I didn't do before. Definitely more emotional out of things. Like I think it's funny because it's something that frustrated me that usually I would just flip, but since she was there, I have to self-control.
You have more self-control?
Yeah, because I did there's like this behavior that I would have when something would piss me off, and when that would just let out, you know. But because she was there, I had to self-control because I cannot be that person. She cannot see me in that position.
They make us better people, don't they?
Yes, it's crazy.
And it puts like a mirror in front of you of who you are as a human because they repeat everything.
Yeah,
wait,
exactly.
wait, it's coming. You know what my daughter told me?
What?
I told her once, watch The Attitude. She says, what do you think I learn everything? I watch you, mommy. I was like, because I had nothing. She's like, what? And she literally said, what, mommy, no comeback? I was like, well, child.
Go to your room, no pizza for you.
No comeback, but I'll be back in a week. Let me digest this information. Yeah, it's a beautiful mirror to see of ourselves and our behavior. And again, because you have that, technically brings out your more feminine side. Your masculine, yin yang, again, that contrast is going to get more masculine because you're going to be more protective. You're going to be a stronger protector. You're going to be, you know? So, again, for it to be more masculine, there has to be more feminine. And vice versa.
It's true what you're saying about the masculine part because, yes, I'm becoming more feminine at doing these roles, these activities that culturally was more like woman-oriented as opposed to the man. But the men's side at the same time has to do more manly shit too.
Yeah.
In which if something breaks in the house, I have to take care of it. I have to take care of like maintaining the house, let's say, in order, protect the family, things like that. So I have to do even more at an extreme level than before. Once again, because I want to show her that, you know, I'm the man in the house. Like, I'm the one taking care of this. This is the household.
Yes,
like.
and it depends. Again, it's cultural, the Latin culture, from my friends and from, you know, people I know, the man has that more classic role. I like it. I think it's nice. I think it's maybe also because it's familiar. That's how we grew up. You know, it's not, new things are uncomfortable usually. But I enjoy the man-woman. So, because I'm a single mom, I'm alone. Now my mom is staying with me for a little bit, right? My mom doesn't work. She doesn't live here. She lives in Toronto, so she stays with me temporarily. She comes for a few weeks, and then she leaves. And I go to work, which I've always done anyway. So I come home, and my mom is home all day, whatever. And I was telling my mother yesterday, I get it why men want their women to stay home. And I got it by having my mom home.
Huh.
I haven't lived with my mother since the age of 16. And now my mom is home. And I go to work every day. And before I was doing it, you know, I had a nanny. I had everything available to me. But just my mom wasn't there. There wasn't a woman in the house or a person. And yesterday I was like thinking about it. And I'm like, you know, I get it why men want women to stay home. I understand. And it's not because they want her to stay home. It's because I feel like everything is together. Like my mom, she's there. Even though I have a nanny, she's home. I call her, anything. Example, my kid got sick today. I don't have to run around and think what's going to happen. Is she okay? How is she feeling? Is she home? You know, calling the nanny all the time. Like, I know my mom is there. I'm comfortable because I know it's my mother. My heart is calm. I know my daughter is taken care of. I know I'm going to come home. There's going to be food. I don't have to run and make supper. You know, I know she's receiving me because she's been home. Her energy is different. It's a lot more calm than mine. I'm coming from out there.
Yeah.
Like, I've been struggling with Facebook, with whatever I'm struggling with at work and clients. And, you know, I have so many clients coming through the doors every day, and I'm dealing with my employees' clients, my own clients. But I know when I come home, my mom's energy is different because she's been home calm, more calm. She could be tired, of course, you know, there's the normal things. But I understood. I'm like, yeah, I get it why a man would want a woman to stay home and why it's important for them and for the general balance of the family, although I don't live that way. But it makes sense to me.
Yeah, well, the balance is very important, like you mentioned. I think it's something that we should seek furthermore, and also, like, you know, preach about it, because I find like so many things are changing nowadays, and I like this old school cultural thing. I mean, definitely things are going to change. Like maybe at one point, the women is going to be more dominant. But you know what? There's a parallel. As I was thinking about this concept, I was thinking about also the animal kingdom parallel. It's always the female that's dominant. It's always, let's say, 3 males going to dance, 3 bird males going to dance for try to get that one female. She's going to just stare right. Either he has the best dance, we're going to reproduce. And in any form of the animal kingdom, beside maybe the human and perhaps dolphins, but it's always, let's say, the female end up being taken over. Let's say the house, the cubs, for example. I mean, polar bears, they will kill the man once they're done. I got my kid, ciao, bye, boom, kill you. And if not, the men are going to be together to try and, like, get the cub and then, over-dominate the woman, things like that, but never alone, always in a pack.
Yeah.
And I thought about this parallel. I was like, shit, I find like us humans are getting more animal-ish.
Yeah.
Because it's always been the woman. But I find maybe like culturally wise, back then always been seen as the man being more dominant because, I don't know, for stronger. I guess biologically, we're stronger. Not saying that women are weaker, but biologically, men are stronger.
Yeah.
They can lift more shit. They can run faster.
You can run, lift, whatever you want.
Whoever wants to challenge this,
I'm not challenging that. If I think about what women are striving for right now, it's more positions of power. They're not striving to be more plumbers. They're not fighting for that. They're not going into mines and being like, there's not enough women miners. Is that the word?
Yeah.
So I think it's everybody's fighting for positions of power. It's not, and it's also unfair because there's so many fields where men are dominant. They are more physical or sometimes not physical, just, other fields. And women, I don't hear any protests for that.
They're not.
Life endangering jobs, I don't hear any protests for that.
Well, once something I asked once if women want so much equality. Back then in Titanic, when it was when a ship you would sink, for example, women and kids first.
Yes.
But nowadays, like, is it going to be whoever gets to the boat, to a safety boat first, or still like the women and kid? Don't you guys want equality? What happened to that?
I'm like the devil's advocate because I am constantly in that fight for women to, be treated equally, and I've encountered it many times. Especially example when I was doing renovations, when I moved into my location right now. I mean, when I was talking to the building team, to the team that was to the contractor and everything, I wanted to cry. I didn't know what to do until my husband came in, and then he saved the day. Ta-da! That's how we
took care of everything.
I'm joking. I was like, oh my God, take me now. No, but it was really like I do encounter, and it's very frustrating. It's extremely frustrating because the only reason they're not listening to because you're female, So I've been in meetings is because I'm a woman. Not only I'm a woman in beauty. I look a certain type of way. I wear heels. I'm not downplaying my femininity and my appearance in order to arrive and take up more space. Like I want to take up space because of what I'm saying and what I think and my thoughts. So yes, I've encountered it. I understand what we're fighting for and I agree with it, but it's not fair one side or the other. We need men need women. We need each other. Nobody fought to coexist and be just like, in harmony. As soon as we're discussing positions of power, one wants to overstep the other. It's not like.
And that's human,
yeah,
behavior.
It's human. So I think it's evolution. When we get unhappy as women, we shake up things. It's just, we've always seen it, and in different generation and different times. We didn't want to stay home anymore. We did, different things, birth control, all that. But yes, I do find it can go a little far.
Yeah.
I find it's unfair not to fight for the fact that there's no women in one environment because it's not high paying or it's, more male dominated. We don't want that. We're just going to fight for that where it's more powerful.
And no joke, me being having a daughter, one of my responsibilities, I feel like I want her to be empowered too, like to be that type of individual that later on when she's going to be an adult, that she's going to be a person of control, the person who...
What type of man do you think you would want to see next to her?
Someone like me.
Forever, child, forever.
Me, I'm there. There's a permanent position. I have no idea because her personality is so premature to see really what kind of. But she already has like strong characteristic. And I find this is like. You see she's still a little girl, but she see like she has this maybe like this attitude. Latina attitude.
Yeah, she's fiery.
Yeah, not very.
She's caliente.
Yes. We gave her that.
That's good. And you should nurture those aspects. You know, if your child is sensitive, don't push them to be, I don't think you should, be like, oh, don't be so sensitive, whether it's a boy or a girl. That's their strength, their sensitivity. That means they're acute and aware of everything that is happening with them. That means they can make better deals, business deals, because they feel people. They feel things. They're not as cerebral. They're more emotional. So nurture that. I think we should nurture everything, the child. If she's feisty, use it in her advantage. Don't, join a gang, but like do things right, like
whatever, float your boat.
You know what I mean? Like you just see that meme. I hope my daughter's feistiness is not going to end her up leading a gang in prison, but like a company, so just we should nurture those things, their strengths.
Yeah, definitely.
Whether even if it's boys.
And that's the thing, boys, like, shit. I don't know, like, I'm hoping to have another one that's going to be a boy. I don't know, as one that is going to be, I find that I might be hard on him.
Maybe you're surrounded by women because you need that balance of feminine energy to bring out your masculine energy.
I think that's...
Did you think that God is going to give you what you need? Don't question the process.
Someone said that if every man that gets a daughter is because they're being punished for their past actions. For shit they did.
See, why are women a punishment? You want to go there? Why is a daughter a punishment? You want to open that Pandora's box?
All right, we could go there. Because I guess men do some shitty shit to women.
They do shitty shit to women.
I don't think I've done some shitty shit to women. I mean, I've done some shitty shit, obviously. It's part of growth. It's part of becoming a better man.
Oh, yeah?
Doing shitty shit.
Somebody had to be the victim? What type of shitty shit did you do?
I was a victim, too.
What?
Shit. I did shitty shit because I was a victim.
Oh, it was like a... catch,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, blame it on somebody else. Okay. Blame it on the other woman that was there before to do shady shit to you, and then you passed it on to the next one.
Then, she just created this mold, and I had to fight back, and I fought back by her behavior, not mine.
So, I was thinking about that the other day. It's funny you say that. So, little boys, before the age of 15, let's say, whatever, before any age, when we teach them how to date and whatnot, I'm thinking they must have been rejected quite a few times just in a lifetime. Just approaching girls and they're saying no. Approaching girls until one says yes. Every boy had a girl say no to them. Depends. So already they've encountered so much more rejection than any girl has before she reaches adulthood.
That's general speaking.
Well, let's say the boy approaches the girl to date or to ask out or for her phone or whatever. Every boy has gotten a no. I've never gotten a no because I haven't approached that many people. Not because I haven't gotten a no.
Because you didn't have to approach because it's coming to you.
Girls, on the other hand, we've had so much heartbreak. We've had so much men being shady to us that we're more capable to manage those feelings of pain because it happened to us so much. So it built different strengths in us.
Okay.
You understand? So, being a boy, like you throughout his freaking adulthood before he gets married, and hopefully he stops there. He's been turned down by X amount of women. It's not possible that every single woman has said yes to him. Women, not really. But we've been through emotional pain caused by men. They got rejection from women, but we got pain from men. And that gave us different strengths.
So that was...
I was thinking about that.
So that's a correlation.
Yeah, that's it. So yes, that you were shading to women, that builds strength in women. And then men being rejected, that builds different types of strength.
I wasn't that bad. I've seen some harsh stories from...
Yeah? What's not that bad? Let's hear it. I thought you said we're going to be honest here.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Let's see what
not that bad. I mean, I had these one night, I guess, didn't follow up.
Never called back? Never followed up? But maybe they didn't want you to follow up.
Good. No, I think there was some follow-ups that were supposed to be done and then weren't done.
Yeah. Well, it's something that happens, part of growing up, maturing. And
What else?
did you have a father growing up?
Nope.
No.
No
So you
father
didn't really
figure.
have a kind of example to follow or somebody to correct you, or
None.
to teach you.
Not really. There were some men in my that came upon my life, but right. The first one was my mom's boyfriend. He was there just to entertain me, to play wrestle with me, and that's it. It was fun. It was like a friend, but he wasn't no father figure. And the second person was a stepdad, but I was just too old for him to even have that kind of like space into my life. So it was like once again more friendly, more like I know you're the stepdad, but we don't have. But besides that, I didn't have like a father figure. A guy like to actually show me a few things
How to call back women.
I had to learn by myself. My mom didn't show me that. You think my mom gonna show me like, hey, this is how you pick up a girl and get her in bed on first night? No, you don't hear. I don't think like a man would actually like I don't know what kind of father people are there.
I don't think you learn by them telling you. I think you learn by seeing it. And you hadn't seen it. And I was worried for that for my daughter too when her father died. What she's gonna see, and how that's gonna affect her life and her ideas and her relationships.
That's my biggest fear too. Like that's something else that came out of me from having a daughter is like being afraid.
Yeah, because we're gonna fuck up. They're gonna be traumatized somewhere.
Yeah,
we just don't know where, and it's just that little moment, like something you're doing that you're not even conscious or aware of. In 15, 20 years, she's gonna bring up and she's gonna say, "Daddy, this traumatized me," like we did to our parents.
Yeah.
This stupid little thing that my mother or your mother used to do or whatever, picked us up late once, I don't know from where, or forgot something, or it's gonna be a minute before they realize we're just human.
Yeah,
like a while. So you're gonna traumatize her. I'm gonna traumatize mine. Like something's gonna happen.
No, definitely. I just find like, damn, if I won't be in her life, that's not exactly what I want. Considering I was a child brought up without a father figure, but I find now it's a girl. She needs me even more.
Yeah.
I think a guy could get away with it. I mean, a girl too, but
I don't know. Guy can't get away with it. I mean, that's going back to that cycle you were talking about.
Because it becomes daddy issues. Like now you see what, the stereotype of girls growing up with daddy issues. Yeah. Not having a father figure for a girl, it's daddy issues. Oh, I didn't have a man to show me how to do this and that. Like they end up doing a bunch of shit.
You don't know better. You just don't, like I grew up without a father. And when things would happen to me, they were not supposed to happen. Or a man would act in a way that they're not supposed to. It's not because I didn't know any. I just had no experience. Like if I had a father who loved me and cared for me and it was there, the day a man would be mean to me, I wouldn't be able to take it because I'd be traumatized. What is this? Like I would cry. I would, But because I didn't have anything, I'd be like, okay, well, this is uncomfortable, but is it supposed to be like this? Maybe he still loves me. It's not, because I didn't have anybody show me. And my daughter, she was so loved by her father. Anytime somebody would do something that her father wasn't doing, because she was so spoiled, for her, it would be like, well, that's not normal. This is my normal. Being overly loved is normal, so she wouldn't want any of it. She wouldn't recognize that behavior. She's like, no, I'm a spoiled princess, and if you're not spoiled me, I'm not a princess.
This is the standard put up by my father.
Exactly. So it's just putting that standard for boys and girls.
All right, I like that. It's putting up a father is there for his daughter to put up a standard of really what a man should be. So if the man is not there, then she don't know what she needs. So she would just take anything, anyone, or even try to find closure with someone that's dominant, male figure that, take that position, and that guy could end up being a piece of shit, and she's just stuck into this loop, but she doesn't know any better because she didn't have the father figure.
Yes, of course. And we all know that cliche.
Okay.
It's funny, we know that cliche, but we all think we're better than it. I didn't have a father, but me, I'm not like that. It didn't affect me.
We're as fucked up in our own.
I grew up without, and everybody says that. Everybody think it didn't affect them, but it affects everybody.
It has me.
Abandonment.
It has, but I thought, and I question this shit. Like it has, but maybe more like on a blessing type, because it's always been like a journey in me to understand really what is to be that man. And also can I outlive him because he passed away. So my question was always, can I outlive his age?
Yeah.
So I did now. So like milestone.
Amazing.
But now it's like, all right, now that figure that I didn't have, well, I need to be that figure that what is the figure that I wish I had? So I need to distribute it to my kids.
Like all experiences, we can take them to a dark place or we can take them to a positive place.
But it's fucked up though, not having that figure, because you question yourself. It's dark all the time.
Yeah, it is.
It's dark every fucking day when you're in that position.
Yes.
And this is where I find the blessing, is because I've been so long in the darkness that you're always seeking light. And once you discover the light, you're always chasing it. And you will do anything to always pursue it, to grab it. I mean, even after you get the light, you still want the bigger light after that. So I find this drive, that's what created out of this result.
Yeah. It's good. It's good. But most people, you're lucky that you got a taste of the light, that you saw something positive, something good came out. They're like, oh, this feels good. I want more of it. I want more, whether, it'd be family, work. That's another thing when people say, fail, that's going to build you. Yes, failure will build you, but you need wins to strive for it.
To taste it,
to taste it, to want it, to crave it, In my business, in your business, when you're hitting your numbers, when you're hitting your marks, when you're exceeding the financial prediction you had, it's like, okay, now I'm doing good, makes you want to do more. If you're always losing, it's difficult to want more.
That's sad.
Yeah, but it's true. It's hard. And, people that are in very, very bad situations, that's where I admire them, that they can still keep their head above water.
You get used to it. And that's, I find, like, really, once again, being there for so long, that's like you get, you're indifferent when it happens. Like, oh, shit, all right, I lost.
Yeah,
fine.
It becomes the norm.
Well, tomorrow is like, it's another day. Tomorrow I'm going to win.
Yeah.
That's the mindset that you end up developing.
And in everything, it's sad when something bad becomes normal.
That's fucked up.
Damn. You shouldn't let something bad become normal. It's just the current situation.
Yes.
Whether it's in your family, whether it's, the way somebody treats you, whether it's at work, this is a situation. This is not the day-to-day. This is just now. This is just for the moment. If you make it normal, then your standards change. So just be aware that it's better, and I want better for myself. I'm sure you want better for yourself, for our children, for everything. For work, for our relationships, for our mind.
Definitely. To be pure, clarified, to be outgoing, to reach those goals. And talk about goals. Like, I know we've been stuck in this loop with the marketing and things like that. And I'm changing the conversation real quick.
Oh, my God, the marketing.
Marketing shit. And it goes back to the social issue, the standards, the beauty. So, all right, to make a long story short for anyone listening is that we've been doing marketing and some of your products. For example, areola reconstruction. Do you want to tell us about what is areola reconstruction?
Yes. So I work with breast cancer patients. That's the last step to their breast reconstruction. And I do 3D areola tattoo. I also do scar camouflage. So social media won't allow me to post these pictures. And when I started doing it a few years ago, I posted a few images and I got blocked. And then I'm in this blacklist of social media.
Tell me about it.
It's terrible. We did a new account, and they find you, they track you, they link you, and then they close that down too. So I have no way of showing these images. And again, we were talking about all the stuff on social media that is available and that is very vulgar. It's not medical. And they let go. But impossible to reach anybody on social media. Impossible to get help.
That's the shit that's sad about these platforms, and that's some of the hate that I have towards, let's say, this corporation, where we're going, and some of the vision too of what I'm building over here with the Black Box Media, where I want to go to be more like, let's say, and different from these platforms, but at the same time, like right now, like the big term is, if you see what's going on with crypto or anything, you want to be just out of the system. So anyway, what I'm trying to say is that you have a service that you can only understand through images. You can't describe it.
No.
You won't see it.
There has to be a before and
needs
after.
image to understand. And one thing that Facebook has banned is the before and after, because it provokes this beauty standard like discouragement.
So there's two problems with my before and afters when it comes to breast cancer. The after is so realistic. It looks like real nipples. And the before has too much, because the before usually the canvas is either blank, or I have one side and I don't have another side of the breast, or I have, it's women who have been through a lot of surgery. So we need to see how far we can bring it and the drastic difference between before and after. I have to also say that when they banned me, my service, I was donating it. So every, I think it was way before COVID, I had donated to 10 breast cancer survivors, and you have to understand that 10 breast cancer survivors is 6 hours each. I'm giving a tremendous amount of hours in a very busy schedule, to these women. I had no profit out of it. It was just to help people.
And that's why I find that's noble about this. That's why I describe that way. It's like, it's very noble that, you're giving out this service, because it makes, like, it could change completely the whole aspect to one of these women who just survived
exactly, and it's
a battle.
Just, and it was, it was to get to show them what they have available. So I did that for a year. Second year, I did a little bit less. And then I do always something around Breast Cancer Awareness Month. But nonetheless, I can't even offer it. I can't even give it away. I can't even give it away for free. Well, I'm trying to help. It's unfair. The before and after images, especially when you work in beauty, they're not allowed anymore, or you have to go
because
about creative
people
ways.
get some people have gotten offended because that after is not me. I can never reach that after effect or whatever you just did, and so people get offended, people get triggered. So this woke movement about we need to upset everyone on the same level. Everyone needs to be equal, and we cannot hurt anyone's feelings. So I don't like this, it's not me, so let me cancel it. And that's what happened. Now are these policies that needs to be taken from these platforms, which are very left-wing-ish.
Yeah.
So they ban these things, but that's the thing, understand the noble behind it. It's a good cause.
It is a good cause. One, two, it lacks humanity, all these social media platforms, because it's all computers that do everything, right? So if you post, example, I was doing a lot of tummy scars, C-sections, tummy tucks, plastic surgery, whatever. And if you post something that has too much skin, the computer sees too much skin. If it's just a stomach, it identifies it as nudity and takes it off. We posted lips, outline of a lip, because we also do lips, right? So we do lip pigmentation in tattoo form. There was a picture of lips that was taken off. So all these little flags that the computer sends, all together, banned our account.
I'm starting to wonder.
Grew for 7 years, organic, all our clients, so much work,
crazy.
so much everything.
I don't think this is the case, but even as you mentioned, because some things just become like lips. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm trying to see how the system would even track it, unless
too much skin. It's his skin. It's his beige or whatever.
But so much skin out there either at the same time. I'm starting to wonder even if people that do not like what you're doing, or they probably flag these things and at one point.
Competition, you mean? That's another thing.
Women are harsh on each other.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because
that could be one of them.
It could be that.
We just pointed out that you might have a competitor bidding on your name.
Listen, that's healthy competition. I'm all good for healthy competition. I could go on every page and say, okay, they have breast, but I don't, because when you're promoting the service, you're promoting the field.
Yeah.
When I started, I'm pretty sure I have the first established cosmetic tattoo studio in Quebec, because I only knew of 4 technicians, not studios, technicians that were working in their basement, renting a room, I don't know what. They were working at the same time as me. So by excessively promoting my services, I developed the industry. Now they're everywhere. Every man knows what microblading is.
That's true, yeah.
Nobody knew what it was. Permanent makeup. No man knew that women did their brows. You know, so you have to you don't think of it so small. Like, oh my God, she's doing the same thing as me. We're promoting the business, the service. We're promoting everything in our field. If one succeeds, we all succeed.
Definitely.
You know, we have one amazing technician in the area of Montreal. Well, then Montreal is known for having good technicians. You know, so you have to think of it a little bit bigger. It's very unfortunate when people think small. That's why they can't work in teams.
Well, that's one of the mentality of this province where we work. I find like it's so limited to always like this culture is, if you think too highly or you always trying to like aim for the next level or want too much, well, you're too cocky. You should calm down, be humble.
Yes.
It's like the society is like, fuck, you want us to be just like laborers for the rest of our life? No.
No. And we do it to each other. That's the sad part. Very, very sad.
Yes.
I lived outside the country half the year, and I lived half the year in Montreal, and I lived in a tropical environment. So when COVID hit, COVID hit, again, I'm an establishment. I'm not one person working. I don't know how much hate mail from women in the same field as I were messaging me, oh, you're on vacation, but your staff is working. But I'm like, it's a business. They're paid, they're working. We're following the rules. We're following everything that the government is telling us. When they tell us to shut down, we shut down. When they say we can stay open, we stay open. We respect the distance. We have a separate room for everything. Everything is 100% respected, but we're hated by the people in the same industry as I. Also women doing the same thing, that know what it is, how hard it is to acquire clients, how hard it is to run a business. So I would get, the worst hate mail, the worst during that time. Because I had a woman in business, in beauty, telling me that I'm running my business while I'm outside the country. Because they would see palm trees. People would see palm trees, they would think COVID doesn't exist there. Like, I'm in the same COVID situation as you, except if something happens to me, I'm not going to a Canadian hospital, which is even worse.
Yeah.
You know, something happens to my family or my family members, all you see is a palm tree. And you think it's, something is different here than there. It's all one. Like, it's happening, globally. So I was very sad and very disappointed when I saw that from my community. It was hurtful. Like, really.
That event just changed everyone to show the true colors of how people see. Because it's fun. It's sad to see that even in my family, like, people were like, oh, no, don't come near me. Like, the fuck? Like, like things like that, like the separation that just created out of everyone.
Well, divide and conquer, right?
Yeah.
Everybody knows that.
Well, they won. And they won that battle.
Divide and conquer. That's how everything works. Just saying, I'm not even going to go there. That's a whole other Pandora's box. But thank God hopefully it's over, and then we can reunite, and we understand we have to rebuild everything together, and, and not shit on each other and help each other instead. And
I think it's getting there. Like, little by little, people are getting the message like, oh, shit, it was all like something that had been worked, and now
it's a good if it didn't work, it was a good experiment. They gave them a lot of database.
Oh yes, now they know they know how to control population, what message to tell them, know how to control this and that. Even though we are living over here they use language to separate us.
Listen, in Quebec we've always had the French and the English,
but now it's like, fuck, it's still a conversation, guys. This conversation is like 30 years old. Move on.
Yeah, that's it.
Move to something else.
I get told I do a lot of my content in English, not because I don't speak French, because it's internet. So the internet is, I'm going to reach more people. I'm just thinking about the reach, but it doesn't mean I don't speak French. But that's the thing too, this Québécois this Québécois French native that speak mostly French. I love my Québécois though.
They call themselves bilingual, but like the bilingual part is just like for the CV. But everything their content they write in English, the profiles in English. But it's like, I know your English suck.
Yeah, I know it's funny. Sometimes it's cute.
But like you said, maybe for the reach, for like
for the reach, but that's it.
For the reach.
But you're trying to reach. That's why you're trying to reach more people, and the internet is English. No matter how you twist and turn it, you're gonna do social media content. You're gonna get a bigger reach in English than you will, and reach when we're reaching people. So that's what people, a lot of the people who have these feedbacks, they don't particularly work with social media. when you have a higher reach, even if it's not in your demographic, social media is going to push your content more to your demographic. That's what they need to understand.
Yes.
So no, we're not trying to reach the people in the States, but if we do, we reach more people react, more people in our area will see it.
And then it grows.
And then it grows. And I'm just going to reach more people in English. And this is just, that's it.
That's how it works.
French. My husband was French Canadian. I love Quebec. I used to live in Ontario. I came back here just because I love it so much.
You see, she loves it so much. Anglophone.
But unfortunately, it's what it is. We have to do things in English more.
Yeah. Well,
when it comes to content, anyway.
Definitely. Well, that's how it works. We noticed it too. We did comparison out of, let's say, some French content that we did and the English one, and the English is just going to flourish more in certain platforms as opposed to others. But majority is going to be English. Is going to be.
Well, you've pushed me often to do things in French.
You see?
Yes.
I told you we have to.
Yes, and I want to. It's just that they don't understand how time-consuming it is. You understand? I'm sitting with a client. I'm giving a speech on the service, and I have to do the same speech in French. It's like it's tremendously time-consuming.
Okay, Elina. Donne-moi ton pitch en ce moment en français.
Tu veux que je te fasse en français?
Donne-moi ton pitch en ce moment en français.
Alors, mon nom est Elina Ross. Je suis propriétaire de Studio Eli Ross. Nous faisons du maquillage permanent. On fait du tatouage paramédical. On travaille beaucoup avec les femmes qui ont subi le cancer de sein. On reconstruit les aréoles en forme de tatou. On fait aussi des camouflages de cicatrices. You put me on the spot. Now I feel like I grew up here. Now I feel like I don't speak French. I speak French very well. You're looking at breathe at least. Let's hear you breathe. You can hear a pin drop. He's like watching me.
Guy. Analyzing.
My French? No, I speak French well.
No, of course. And I told you.
You know, if you could curse somebody out in French, you speak French.
No, you speak. I know you speak very well. I know you speak it very well. And
yeah.
Like I said, you have this cute French accent too on top of that. Yes, Québécois, but
it's like a mix of Russian. My accent is, my accent reflects, because it's not my first language. My first language is Russian. It reflects a lot on the person that I'm speaking to, because I don't do it on purpose, but I tend to imitate the person in front of me. So, this is why I'm an immigrant. Listen, I speak French and English, and I wasn't born here. So I'm pretty proud of what I've achieved.
And that's the thing about us immigrants. We adapt.
Of course.
We adapt easily.
Of course.
The only one complainer, the one that cannot adapt. Have you noticed?
I'm...
And me, just to be respectful, I do greet in French. Like I go to West Island, I'll talk to them in French. Just
West
to
Island
fuck.
French is West Island English?
It's English mainly.
Oh, you do it? Oh, you just mess with them?
Yeah, just to fuck with them. Like, fuck it. Oh, to Québec sit.
To Québec.
To Québec sit. Just to fuck with them. But at the same time, yo, bro, I'm Anglophone.
Yeah.
I grew up in the States, so.
Oh, no, my husband's parents were very insistent on French for my daughter. And I'm like, she's going to school in French. Like, there's no reason she would.
You can't beat that. Like, fuck.
No. Our French is good. We like the French Canadian people. French is good. Just have to be a little bit more understanding of what is happening in the world, like beyond Quebec, beyond Ontario, just worldwide, because that's what's happening right now with the internet, with social media. Social media is tremendously important because, look, they pulled out Facebook, pulled out Instagram. My business is suffering.
It's crazy. That's...
So it is becoming a social system.
Control, like at the end of the day, like
you have no choice. It's very difficult to do anything, any type of promotion, any type of business. Your social media is your business card today.
It is. We'll find alternative. I have some ideas.
Yes, you have ideas.
I have ideas.
I just can't be writing to them anymore. I can't speak with these people anymore. It's just Facebook.
I'm telling you, like in the both accounts that happen, like one of them, since is not one of them is clear, is clean, you can reach out to them easily. They reply to you. We actually had a call. But the other one that's just blacklisted, they don't want to know shit about that account.
No.
I'm like, fuck, so how the fuck you want me to resolve this? I try everything, and that's what I'm saying. Is like we're going to a world, like in a crypto world, where everything is more decentralized. I find that right now these companies have much more power to do these things. They don't even know why they're doing it. It's just like, are you doing it for because this is what you believe in? Or are you doing it because this is what they believe in and you don't want to have them angry over you? And once again, this like, ever since the pandemic, not even, I'm lying, I think that the division in between like the two mentality begun mainly like around the Trump area, 2016, where both sides, now everything was about two sides. And that was the same time with the BLM at the same time. So, all right, you know, black people are revolting even more with what's going on. Black people have been fighting to be respected for how long, how many years are going to be. They've been enslaved for like 400 years, but only been since, I mean, the 50s, even like, let's say in the whole 1900s, that they've been fighting, trying, you know, be respected as a position. And at the same time, black people doing that, they're doing it for other culture too, that, you know, part of the minority, a term that I do not like. And now it's like these divisions. So you're black or you're white, you're red or you're blue.
Yeah, there's a tremendous amount of division.
And everything. And this brings me to my next subject. And this is something like, you know, I had this conversation. It comes down into the beauty and self-care. Because I think it's very important. Mainly you a person who works out regularly. How many times a week?
As many I can squeeze in. Sometimes it's 2, sometimes it's 5, sometimes it's more. Whatever I have time.
Well, so this is something we have in common.
Very regularly, yes. I used to be a personal trainer.
See, that's great. On top of that. And I think
long
time. Damn,
long time ago.
Does it really count?
Counts.
It's still in your CV?
Yeah.
But that's something we have in common. So because at this stage, I guess you working out and me working out, it's not even about looking great. I mean, yes, looking great is the main thing. Well, it's not the main thing.
Using my knees, really, to be honest with you.
But
like using my body.
But my mentality now at 35 years old, working out is about being as healthy as possible.
Yes, absolutely.
Because once we reach our 30s, our health, I started seeing deterioration easily. Out of stupid shit like that. Hangovers, for example, just the easiest one. In your 20s, it's easy, it's fun, it's shitty, but next day you're good. In your 30s, fuck that. You need like a whole weekend.
Forget it. Weekend? It's Monday. I'm still like a little bit effed up.
Well, me, I need to do this shit on Friday. Don't ask me to go out and get fucked up on a Saturday. Like
no.
I need Saturday and Sunday.
And I'm Russian, and like drinking is cultural for us.
It's culture, huh?
Let me tell you, it's not the same.
Some tequila. 2 tequila, please. You want to go? Because now we're going to get into a hot topic and the last one to finish up. Because shit, we went to a lot of shit.
Yeah, the hangovers are bad. I'm not even.
So me, yeah, definitely my 20s. I was always talking about, you know, like, yes, I was working out to look good. Obviously, like you're single, being shitty to women. But they like that. That's what women seeking. Well, the shittiest men out there that looks good.
The Latin suavemente
exactly.
with the abs.
Margarita Papi, baby.
Margarita Papi.
That's what you want to.
That's what you came for.
That's what you're getting. And so this is like the mentality in the 20s. Yeah. But as you get in your 30s, it's not the same thing anymore. It's like, fuck.
No, it's not. It's not. And you know what comes with hangovers now? The mind follows you. You get anxiety now.
Ah, shit.
Now you got to think about all the stuff that you have to do on Monday.
To work.
You're thinking about the baby that's going to wake up. You're thinking about all the stuff that you won't be able to accomplish or do. You're thinking about everything that happened before. So not only the physical is getting a little difficult, but the mental is not following either.
No, exactly. It's harsh. So this is where it comes, like, really where I want to talk about really the healthy shit. This movement, the body positivity. Mm-hmm. You familiar with it?
Yes, body positive. Body yada, 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 yada. Listen, we all have our body that we can achieve in a healthy manner. We can't all achieve the same goal. Oh, here they are.
Here they are.
Let me talk to you about my body for a second.
Thank you. Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers. Thank you for having me.
You do self-care. Mm-hmm. This makes everything happen. Body positivity.
Body positivity. So
how much positivity we need to be about the body? We understand really.
So what I don't like is your reflection on your body through the images that you see. Like, my picture should not make you feel positive nor negative. If I posted something, if you don't like it, look at something else. It's as simple as that. That's what I don't understand. I had sent you the post of somebody, again, I don't get a lot of hate, but, you know, That's why when I do, it stands out for me because I'm not used to it. And yes, no, it doesn't feel good.
Does an attractive woman get more hate stuff than, let's say, a regular woman? I don't know. All right, what's a regular? All right, my bad. I take that back.
What's a regular woman? Tell us.
All right, by attractive in a more sense of...
What's the regular? Oh, that tequila. That tequila got you the last one.
I didn't choose my proper words. All right, let me rephrase the terms. An alpha woman.
An alpha woman?
Well, yeah. What? Just digging.
You're just getting like your own grave. Okay, so yes, we understand the concept of you know, more flashy women more versus more discreet women. Not a question really of who's more attractive or not. It's just some people have a more exaggerated appearance, I guess. I know that I own a mirror. I look the way I look because I made myself look the way I look. Mm-hmm. I know what I put out there in the world. I see every day how people respond to me. When I speak, I know what to expect. There are some things that I cannot say versus the woman that will be a little bit more overweight than me. Probably not wear makeup, a little bit more natural. The response will be different towards her. I've seen it.
And that's maybe why I try to... You choose better words than I. Like...
So...
Say nothing.
Go for it. What was your question?
Well, we can... It's fair to assume that, say, a woman that's considered generally more attractive is going to get more attention.
So yes, the woman in general, you're going to
put both parties.
I don't know if you've seen it on TV. They used to do this experiment where they put an attractive and a less attractive face, which we call in my work more symmetrical and less symmetrical. So more symmetrical faces will tend to be more attractive. Less symmetrical faces, regardless of the size, regardless of the body structure, symmetry versus no symmetry is considered more attractive. A baby will be more drawn to the more attractive face. Yeah. We're programmed that way. So yes, you're going to get a little more attention. Now after that, what type of attention are you getting? And what are you doing with that attention? And what is the purpose of that attention? Mm-hmm. You know? So there's different aspects that fall into that.
So, all right, good. Thank you for helping me escape this part around.
I got you, don't worry.
I just fucked it up.
I threw you a lifeline.
Yes, that's why you need good people around you.
Just that first conversation, maybe not post it.
We'll leave it. Just fuck it. They're gonna get triggered regardless of what you say. So, a person that's more symmetrical. Yeah. Damn, the terms that you have to use nowadays. A person that's more symmetrical, I guess, to the eye of the beholder, will tend to get more attention. Once again, whatever attention you think it is, positive, negative. Like, do you think is like applicable for a person that doesn't have, let's say,
everything? It's applicable for everything. And, you know, you have the opportunity to use it to your advantage. Why not? Why do men wear suits? Because of the, you know, the response that they get in return when they go to a meeting versus if you go into a meeting in jeans, you know? You can use it to your advantage. Yeah,
all right. Perfect. That's good. That's a good direction because what I find behind, like, the movement of body positivity mainly is I look at the health factor behind it because right now the body positivity is encouraging people to accept themselves, which is I 100% agree on. We need to accept ourselves. Even myself, when I was a teenager, I had low self-esteem issue because of the way I looked and things like that. And if someone would have told me, nah, you look great the way you are and you have to accept yourself, would have been amazing for my brain. But now is becoming that we need, the narrative is that we need to accept people that are overweight.
Yes. So I will just direct it towards my daughter. So I'm not directing it towards people. I've worked in health. I know what a healthy person looks like. I know how a healthy person functions. I know how a healthy person looks in the morning. I know what healthy skin looks like. I work with skin. I can tell by the tint of the skin if the person is on medication, when they have thyroid problems. I know these things. The weight will affect it. So if my daughter is going to head in an unhealthy direction because of the food she's eating, I'm going to change it. I don't want that for her. So you're accepting there are people who are going to be, you know, if I was, let's say, about 20 pounds over what I am now, I would still be considered healthy. But then when you're exceeding a certain amount of weight, it's because of what you're consuming or health related. So either what you're eating is making you unhealthy, either way, because you're putting on excess calories versus what you're spending, or you have maybe a thyroid problem, I don't know, whatever. Either way, it's a health issue.
And that's why I ask, like, really, how do you see health with fitness? And I find that at the moment you start taking care of yourself, yes, there's going to be an image that's going to come along with it.
Yeah.
And it's
it's frowned upon. You can't be too pretty. You can't be, you know, not pretty. It's a constant struggle from everything is out of balance. You know, example, when I wear makeup. If I have makeup and my hair is done and I'm talking about something, it's like, no, you don't have the right to discuss this. You're fine. You know, and it happened to me before. I've discussed issues about mothers and how we're not allowed to be sexy and how we have to, you know, we fall into a certain kind of box. And the response was, well, you know, is that why you post pictures of yourself in a bikini? So, but if I was overweight a little bit and I didn't look so cute in a bikini, that'd be okay.
Well, that's the problem, like, because we want to accept that, and I think we should, but at the same time, for what reason are you doing it? Are you doing it for self-esteem purposes? Are you doing it for health purposes? What is the argument behind, let's say, someone accepting that someone should be overweight? Because we understand really what's being overweight.
Think it should be accepted.
I don't think it should be accepted.
I'm just going to whisper that. To an extent, when it's unhealthy, I think curvy women are gorgeous. I mean, I
love curvy women.
Curvy women. But if you're going to an unhealthy, overweight space, it's just unhealthy. Like, you're going to always find somebody who loves that, and it has nothing to do with attraction. You know, there's a whole community behind.
But that's the thing, and that's why I had someone, like, even challenging this, because saying, like, well, there's fat people that are healthy. I'm like, until what age? Like, have you ever seen an overweight person in the 90s?
I mean, overweight people, like obese people, you're saying? Obesity is the definition.
Well, what is obesity? Yeah, but that's it. I don't want to use the word obesity because I saw research where obesity is like, it's not even that much. It's like maybe like 20, 30 pounds, some ridiculous number like that.
I think everybody should be physically active. Everybody should be physically active as much as they can squeeze into it. And everybody should have a healthy weight, whatever their healthy weight is. You know what is in your unhealthy weight. And I'm not going to look at you and be like, well, you look super healthy, you're perfectly healthy, you can run a marathon.
Because like someone that's in the 200 pounds, for example, should at least be 6 feet and above, because it only makes...
I was 210 pounds pregnant.
Well, I hear women that got into... But you carrying two... You're carrying another being.
I just thought about that. No, I was a big pregnant girl. Yes, body positivity. Yeah. And
I find like the argument for this movement is wrong for the wrong reason, because you don't think about, let's say, the health issue. Me, like, not to brag or nothing like that, but you know what's the heaviest I ever got to myself was 185.
How tall are you?
Say 5'6". I'm trying like
I'm 5'9".
6'9". 5'9".
No, I think just body positivity, overall, everything positivity. There's too much of accepting absolutely.
But we need to stop accepting all this shit.
Everything it's okay not to be okay with some things. It's okay for things to be unhealthy.
But you can't encourage someone to have a shitty lifestyle, because that's the worst. That's like encouraging a crackhead to keep doing crack, because, hey, you need to accept yourself.
Yeah, I mean, listen, if you're going to, you show me this overweight person, follow them for a week, show me their breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and their lifestyle, and they can exercise, and their joints are moving properly and everything, I'm going to say, okay, maybe I'll take him back. But then there's going to be some type of other health issue in there. But that's a thyroid issue or something, right? So how can you say that an overweight person is healthy and not have a healthy lifestyle? Like,
exactly. That's the thing. It's like, that's why I find the correlation of being, let's say, overweight doesn't make sense with being healthy. And if you think the person from the outside looks healthy because they're able to go up all the flights of stairs without being out of breath, or maybe eating a salad from now and then, like what the person does in the back when no one is around. And one thing I would like to challenge anyone that's supporting this, I would like to see really, let's say, have everyone to do a blood test. Because a blood test won't lie to see really what you have.
There's also a lot of lean people who eat crap.
But that's true.
Who are not healthy at
but
all,
you see
which I know a lot of people. And I envy them.
But you see, look at this guy.
Him? Oh, you.
He has that
Don't
body.
even look this way.
But you
Be
see,
useful. Can we please have some more tequila?
but you see, that was
listening to our private conversation here.
That was one of the arguments this person made. She was like, "Oh well, I know anorexic people. I know anorexic people that are
doesn't make them
skinny."
more healthy.
Like, but that's not an argument. I could see someone that's anorexic and in bad health. I could see like skinny people that are bad health.
Well, like I say, I see them when I receive them. I see when their skin is not healthy, when they don't eat properly.
So that's not an argument to say that skinny is healthy. No, it's not. Because you could tell. I seen a girl that's like on her bone. I'm like, this does not look good.
Like, help yourself.
This does not look good. And like, you should take care of that. Like, eat some more food. Like, don't be depressed because someone said that you need to be different. Like, and I just find like, the big argument that I want to bring to this, the awareness, is like to push more towards the healthiness. Like, I always showcase like myself being in the gym.
As we drink tequila in the middle of the day.
Beauty and self-care.
Is 0 calories?
It doesn't count.
It's good for the soul.
It's good for the soul. It's organic.
And we're what is the brand?
Rosemont.
Rosemont. Actually, it's really good. I have to say.
Yeah, you have to say it while you're holding the bottle.
I do. Rosemont tequila. Very good for the heart and soul.
Another one. So I find that a big message that it's relevant to make awareness. Just like be healthy about it, and like being overweight doesn't necessarily. It's not necessarily going to lead. Maybe you're good now, but later on, like, I don't encourage at the same time, let's say, getting drunk every day or eating shit like every day, but at least compensate by doing something else that's going to
keep balance.
That's life and balance.
We're gonna go jogging right after that.
Yeah, we talk about this.
We're gonna go at the gym. We're gonna burn off that tequila.
You'll see the post.
Yeah.
You'll see the post.
Yes, I do think. I think everything just on social media is always, everybody's overly sensitive and you can't say anything, and everything you say is taken out of context. And I mean, I'm having, because I still, as strong as I am, and as much as I'm focused, and there's a purpose to everything I'm doing, and I'm business oriented. And when people say things, when people write things for free that are mean, like, I'm disappointed. I don't like the feeling. So it's unfortunate, whether it be for body, whether it be for work, whether it be for what I'm saying at this point, and everybody's ready to attack, it's like something's gonna come out. Everybody's like on the
and most of the people that are going to write something negative about you is because they see something they want from you.
What they want?
Maybe
we have a phone number, make an appointment. I'll give you a consultation. Maybe I got what you want. I got what you need. Maybe it is. It could
be your lifestyle. Hey, spending winter in the palm trees. Shit, who wouldn't like that?
Yes, but they see a side of my life, like we do on social media, and then they are upset that they don't see the whole thing because it looks too perfect for them. It's like, you can't win. Like, I'm posting something nice. I'm gonna post, when an unfortunate event is happening, because it's personal. It's not something I want to share or discuss. It's not for me. It's not for me to create a space that is relatable for you. If you relate, you relate. You don't with what I'm sharing. So, example. Wonderful example. Oh my God, she's always on vacation. I had clients come in. She's always on vacation. You're always in Mexico. You're always here. You're always there. I'm not. We live part of the year outside the country. And then they're like, oh, really? When are you coming back? Like, super, just not nice. Not a nice way. I'm like, yeah, well, guess what? I go, we had a horrible accident that happened there, and I had to stay a little bit longer, and that's why I was there. Oh, really? I'm like, yeah. Don't assume you know what is happening. And don't automatically hate. You don't know what is happening, So that's the thing with social media. People see a fraction of of what is happening, and they're like, yeah, I'm in Mexico, but I'm in Mexico for
Yeah,
a funeral.
I'm dealing with shit too.
I'm there dealing with some things. It's just the background is different. The grass is not greener on the other side because it's in a tropical environment. Example. You know?
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, it's really unfortunate, and that's why I find like really in the self-care that I want to bring out is like you need to accept yourself. You need to do more because too many people are just watching really what's going on here. Like if they see you, oh shit, Elina is fit, Elina is doing this, Elina is doing that. Elina is putting fucking effort. Are you doing the same thing? Because you're just fucking writing hate comments and shit like that while she's fucking trying to take care of like other things. And I find it's too much of this negativity that we're going around. But if we're able to be in a position where we can spread much more, positivity.
Do you get hate? On your social?
Not
Have
as
you gotten any?
now a bit more. Now not as much. Not a lot. Yeah, they hate silently. That's a good point. People hate silently.
So when they're gonna hate loudly, you succeeded.
Exactly. It's starting to come out. I'm starting to see sometimes some dumb comments or the silent behavior. That says a lot. I'll take, for example, someone that's close to my circle, like, doesn't show no type of appreciation on their social media. Nowadays, social media, it's an engagement. It's kind of a token of appreciation that you have towards a person. Yeah, exactly, things like that. But the person wasn't showing none. Posting something, none. Doing this, none, nothing like that. And the argument is like, oh, I didn't see it. And that's bullshit because 2 minutes after someone posted some shit, you were fucking active on their shit.
Yeah.
So, yeah, exactly. So,
right?
So I find that this is silent hate.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people watching, a lot of fucking people watching, but little doing something. And it's crazy because the strangers are the one that show the most love.
Yes. Tu peux le comprendre?
No, it's a fast-paced environment. No, of course. But
no, but if you're asking your friend, you're like, did you see this that I did? Da, 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 da. And they have like, no, oh yeah, I think I saw her. You could feel it in the energy though.
No, but the same
you
thing
don't need
too.
More than that.
One thing too, I tell people like sometimes people like apologize. Oh, I didn't watch it. I'm like, I don't care if you didn't watch it. It's all right. I know it's not like I watch everyone's shit religiously and like hoping to catch the message. Like it's all right. I understand that social media is fast paced, but sometimes like really who's showing love and who isn't. And sometimes you expect the person nearer to your circle to show the most love, but sometimes it's the one nearer in the circle that are showing less.
But they show up when you get there. That's when they show up.
That's where they are.
On the way up, it's like nobody's. When I started, a lot of people that I knew were not very, they weren't responding. Just like, what are you doing? I'm like, no. I'm going to do something with this. But then when you get there and everybody wants to come see and there's like a 3-month waiting list to get an appointment with you, now they're like, oh, but you're my friend. Now I want to come see you, Now squeeze me in your schedule. Now I know what I'm talking about when I've been saying the same thing for God knows how long,
It's crazy you say that because this podcast, we've been doing it for 2 years, nonstop. And we have a waiting list of, let's say, 2-3 months now for people to come in. Like,
did I make it on the list?
You made it on the list finally. We have a lineup, and people feels like, hey, I have space next week. Do you think I can come in? And be like, yo, bro, what the fuck you think this is?
Yeah.
Like, and it's funny because it's like until now, what happened to the previous months?
Yeah, what I was asking.
Where were you?
Yeah.
And it's funny. It's a funny phenomenon. Like people just don't. Nobody wants to put the hard work into it. Building something, they just want to be there once it's there.
Yeah,
once
the champagne
it's established,
is ready. When they're part of the the glitz. I know, but it's human nature. That's why there's different people, different. It takes all kinds in this world. We can't be mad at it. Just as long as you're aware, we need awareness. Like we need to be aware of what is happening. We need to be aware what people want from you and where you stand for them. So they don't use and abuse you.
Nah, definitely. We're getting there. We're heading there. We need more people like us.
Like us.
Like us.
We're good people. Cheers.
Of course.
Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure. Thank you for coming to the podcast.
I had the line. I'm in the VIP line.
Yes, you're in the VIP.
Cheers. It is pretty sweet. I really have to give it to them.
Yes, I strongly support. Like, if you have anything to Rosemont, they're everywhere. They're Alasac, obviously, but
very smooth.
And I like what we're doing because this is where I find like really what we brought. Because at first, we've been working together for 2 years now, and the relationship just even grew bigger now.
Yeah,
it just grew bigger. I'm not gonna say how.
Are they a local distillery?
Yes, this is in Montreal,
Quebec.
Yeah.
Everything's homemade. Local business.
Everything's local.
Everything's local.
I need to take you to a tour.
I love it. It's great.
But it's funny because like we started this 2 years ago. We wanted to promote local businesses, and that's a brand that we appeal to. One thing that I appeal to is like the fact they have the diversity of drinks. Like some of the distillery here, they're going to be doing only gin, only vodka, one or the other. But these guys do everything. Rum, gin, vodka, whiskey, tequila, eau de vie, like anything you want, they do it. And
that's good stuff.
And I like that diversity. I was like, oh, it's so diverse. And like our team, our podcast team was so diverse at the same time. Because we have me, I'm Hispanic, he's black. We have the white kids there. We have, a bunch of other people. Like we're all like a melting pot of different individuals, like these guys. So I would assume like the brand, the vision is all about the same. So once we started building that relationship, it's like, oh shit, it's exactly that. Yeah. Their perspective, like Rosemont is to represent Montreal, in which is a melting pot of culture.
Yeah,
it's not like one brand, because you look at other brand, like you're only going to see one mold of people that's going to be there, and them is like, nah, that's not representative of what is Montreal, what is this, what is that. And when they saw too that I'm Hispanic, you have a black guy, they're like, oh shit, you see, this is diverse as a cultural, and that was like 2 years ago. And I'm proud to say that today, one thing we have made into this podcast industry in Quebec, and even for them, is that they're becoming a standard into the podcast game, in which I'm starting to see their brand pop up in other podcasts.
They found their niche. It's good.
And
because also drinking is social, technically,
Well, it is. Well,
it's supposed to be social. So they're smart to put into podcasts, because here we're talking, we're discussing ideas.
And we're not getting drunk. We're just
not yet. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, it makes sense. It's like a social thing to do, and we've been freaking stuck at home drinking alone for so long. Now you can talk and discuss different ideas. The ideas go viral sometimes, and then hence their product is more seen too, and
they understood.
No, it's a very good, very smart, very, very smart. So I just got God, they're not too good.
You understand now the connection.
God, not too bad, yeah.
Mastermind behind.
I just understood their whole branding, their whole. They must have pondered over that for months. I came up with it like this. See?
I kind of helped. I'll take credit for that.
You kind of helped? No, it's
my
good.
job.
It's a good partnership.
Les collaborations, heureusement.
To get it out there, to promote it.
C'est quoi t'allais me challenge? Okay.
T'écoutes pas? You're our only audience.
Who's about to chat?
Parce que je suis une femme, hein? T'écoutes pas? Quand il y a des hommes ici, tu écoutes? Et pourquoi Jésus? Pourquoi Jésus? Il y a d'autres religions dans le monde?
Bang. So, yeah.
Yep.
Beauty, self-care, accept yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. Accept yourself.
Be yourself, men,
do
women.
What feels good to you. If you don't want to wear makeup, don't wear makeup. Permanent makeup. We do permanent makeup. Everything I do is to make women's lives easier. Yes, of course, like everybody else, I want to sell something, but I want to sell something that you need, that you're grateful, that when you purchase it, like, yes, my life became easier thanks to this. That you're saving time. Time is money. You're saving money. You're getting up, you're going. That's it. You're good to go. If you're talking about, cosmetic tattoo, we do scars. I have a tremendous portfolio.
Well, lately you've been doing laser tattoo removal.
Laser tattoo removal, yes, it was a good addition to already a treatment that we were offering. So with the arrival of the eyebrow, permanent makeup eyebrow, arrived the mistakes. So there's more and more trainings out there, hence more and more mistakes, because students make mistakes sometimes, they go on their own. So I thought it was a good time to introduce. Now the market has become very, very saturated in permanent makeup. So it's a good time, I thought, was to introduce a solution to the removal of permanent makeup.
Damn, you're smart. Yeah. Well,
I'm sorry, did you question that? Am I here because I'm pretty? Were you counting on my looks?
Once again, it didn't come out the way it was supposed to.
You mean I'm symmetrical, right?
Yeah, you're symmetrical. That's what I got.
So, yeah, as you see, when the market saturates, you have to find a solution to that saturation. So I introduced tattoo removal. And also tattoo removal is a lot with people in my generation that are coming up in the 90s, from the 90s, I mean. And we had a lot of 90s tattoo mistakes. Like these little these little butterflies, tramp stamps. Arm barbed wires, the
barbed wire.
Names of first boyfriends, the most random things, strawberries, dolphins, crabs, astrological signs.
A dumb dare.
I mean, it's just all kinds. And it's all coming from the 90s. It's that generation. Because the generation now that are getting their tattoos done, they're getting pieces. It's art pieces. They're gorgeous, you know? So I highly doubt they wait for months and months, sometimes years, to get an appointment with their tattoo artist. Now we know the difference. And again, we have social media to see the contrast. But those 90s mistakes, I'm there for them.
That's it.
Whatever. Maybe even now.
So for the 90s kids, well, I guess it will be more 80 kids.
80s.
The millennials, you want laser tattoo removal, go see Elina. She'll take care of you. She's an expert in the field. I can assure you, I don't have any tattoos, so I didn't get any removed, but I've seen some of her work, and it gets the job done.
Yeah, absolutely. Our laser actually works in double time, so however long it would take you with any other laser, it's half the sessions with us. And it's the only laser that is all-inclusive in the sense that it's the only laser that you can work on all skin tones.
Excellent. All skin tone on top of that. I think that's very important. Safety measures, like everything is approved.
Everything. It's the laser to have in Quebec. It's like the Rolls Royce of lasers. I waited 2 years. And I don't want to say the name of the laser because I don't feel like promoting it for free. I'm joking. It's a Pico laser, which is right now. But you have different levels of Pico lasers. Consultation will explain everything. And it's literally miraculous. Like, it's amazing. And does all kinds of other things too. Pigmentation, skin pigmentation. Like myself, I have melasma from after having my daughter. It's one of the only lasers that can take care of that. Any type of skin abnormalities, scars. Very, very important because I work with scars a lot. Yeah, acne scars. So all that does an amazing job. I really like seeing results. I don't do anything to test it out. I do everything with the intention to have a result.
Okay.
It's not we'll see. Well, I do everything with the intention to have a result.
Great. So anyone who wants to book an appointment, consultation.
Studio Eli Ross.
Eli Ross.
514-692-4545.
Got it. Nice. Well, Elina, thank you
so much for having me.
Pleasure.
Pleasure was all mine.
Ciao, guys. You'll see podcasts.